Hey, Wagwan, y'all. Um, I'm doing this live today because I think it's necessary for me. So I want to apologize in advance if any different other emotions might. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's going to be in the background. But today marks 15 years in a day that that my creator has transitioned to the other side. It's I told myself I wouldn't get emotional from this. But 15 years and a day ago, my mom passed from breast cancer. And I was 14. There was a lot of things that was going on in my life at the time. And I think the only thing that held me together was me being the daughter that I should be. And I kid you not, but the last 14 years has been a haze. I don't really necessarily remember much of anything. And when I say much of, like, remember, as in, like, the moments that I know that my mom would have enjoyed or appreciated or hugged me for, kissed me for, I miss those days. Or she missed them or whatever. But, you know, I think watching your creator die before your eyes is kind of traumatizing. And as people kind of get the gist of this, but I'm very vocal about my parents. And I'm grateful. I'm eternally grateful for everything that they've done for me. I wouldn't be the woman that I am today if it wasn't for the mistakes of my parents, and not necessarily the good things. Because honestly, the person who I am today is because of the mistakes of my parents. The just the ideology in general. And it's taken me a long time for me to come to this space of tranquility. And I say I'm overwhelmed with peace because this will be the first year that would. She passed when I was 14, and it's now been 15 years now. So in the 14 years, I've been very empty. And I honestly feel like that morning when my father shook me awake and he looked at me and he said, you know, your mom is gone. I kind of knew. I kind of knew that because I felt her spirit leave, but I didn't want it to be real. And I can honestly say that as like, this is why I talk really like in depth about the Great Conjunction, because although like people may not believe in it, that force that happened last year on the 21st, that shit is real. And I say that because I know that I've been touched by this said force. And I've been struggling, like really, really, it's been really hard struggling with no mother at the age of 14, right? You go through all of these feminine and girly, moments in your life, and you have no mother to express that with. And it gets harder when the Black females that were in my family who I could rely on, I was taken away from them, having to move across the world. And, I already talked about how I lived in London for a while. I lived in Poland. And, it was just the events that transpired to my mom's transition was so traumatic that I can honestly say that I was in a very, very dark place for the first 5 or 6 years. And then as I became an adult, it got even harder because I started, and this is why I go like real hard on these conversations with relationships between men and women, because I see that the generational curse, the trauma that my mom went through, I ended up going along the same lines. And I know that if my mom was still alive, she would have been able to warn me. So to a certain degree, I feel like, and I hate saying this, but my mom's passing was a sacrifice for me, because the ancestors knew that in order for me to get to the next level, to be the woman that I'm supposed to be, that they would have to take what is the most precious to me. And you see, what's funny, like when we talk about God and stuff, right? I talk more about ancestral worship. And I don't mean that by, how we do it when we go to church and we tithe and stuff. I don't think of it that way. I think of it as this. I have never met God. That's a reality. But I have met my mother. I looked her in the face. I've touched her skin. I've smelled her. I've hugged her. I felt this woman. And so when I woke up at 14 that day, January 12th, 2006, and my father, he's a co-creator, right? But my mom is the portal, right? When my father looked me in the face and told me that my God was gone, that right there, that was the first day of my journey of soullessness. And it's been a very dark journey. And it's been an everyday occurrence. And as of the last, I would say 4 years, it has gotten so bad to the point where I feel like I'm in a standstill. And, as some people know, I'm a writer. And I've been in the process of writing a couple novels for the last 10 years. And in 2016, something happened when I was in school and I shut down. And I went into a very depressed state. And I thought it was just going to last for a second because, writer's block, it happens. I was expecting it. I was overworking myself, reading, researching, and just writing. I was writing like 10 pages a day. And to go from 10 pages a day to not writing at all, I really went in a downhill spiral from there. Writing was the only thing that kept me rooted and grounded on this planet, because what I write is more of future instances, right? Not anything of the past, because you can't change the past, but you can determine the future. And for me as a writer to go from writing to not being able to write, it subconsciously told me that I had no future. And so sitting in my home for the last 4 years, depressed, and I know people on YouTube, they like to laugh at these things, but mental health is a big issue in our community. And unknowingly, I've been suffering from, I've been diagnosed with major depressive disorder. And it's it has basically like it's eaten me alive on the inside. Sometimes I don't feel like I exist. And when the Great Conjunction had happened, I was expecting, I don't know, y'all motherfuckers know, like black people were talking about, we're gonna get superpowers and stuff like that. Now, if black people don't know already that you already have superpowers, you are late. But I was expecting some kind of overwhelming change, and nothing really happened, right? And or so I thought, I should say. But I do remember that day where I decided that I was gonna let go of my ex, because that was definitely one thing that held me back last year from ever just, you know, just I don't know. It's a long fucking story, and I'm just overwhelmed right now. But when that happened, um, I decided to let go of my ex. I decided to let go of the hurt that my father has caused me. I decided to let go of the fear of the future, the pain from the past, and to help me find peace about my mother. And I truly sat there that night on the 21st of December. I stood outside. I remember I wrote my manifestations, and I had my rose quartz, and I stood outside underneath the moon, and I just I looked up at the beautiful Jupiter and Saturn, knowing that I am the one in my generation to be privileged enough to see this miraculous sight, and how my mom would have loved to see this. And when I tell you that this wave of it was a weird feeling. It was cold outside. It was not really a breeze, right? But I felt a presence. And it's just something about my mom, even in our transition, my mom's spirit is extremely strong. One of the things that I know, that once I start feeling overwhelmed with like very deep emotions such as like grief and anger, I smell Chanel number 5. And that was her perfume of choice. And when I smell it, I'm reminded that she's there. And she's truly she's looking out for me. And I remember I came home after feeling that wave, and I knew it was her. I came home. I have a little altar for her and everything. And, I lit some incense. I look at her picture, and I smiled for the first time in 15 years whenever I look at her picture, because I usually just look at her picture and I'm just like overwhelmed with grief, because like the picture that you're looking up right now, that Abby, you're looking at my mother. I purposely bought those glasses to remind me that I am my mother's child, and I shouldn't be ashamed that I came from her. And I smiled, and I felt peace for the first time in 15 years. And I was like, man, this is a great feeling, this is progress, right? Like, damn, this vibrational shift is working pretty fucking fast, right? And this something just didn't feel right, but it felt right. But I think there was just something else that I was anticipating. And I just went about my day. Something just fell off, and I started seeing certain type of people that I was all over my timeline on Instagram and stuff like that. And something just told me to reach out to this individual. And that inkling, it hit me around the 31st when we were doing that live, that crazy ass little live. And something just told me just to text somebody, and I did. And the moment I pressed send, it was like I knew what was going on. My mom was leading me here to this particular moment. Like, I knew that my mom was always watching me. She was always guiding me. I think out of fear of not understanding that she was there, of course, she kind of like lingered in the background, and she waited for me to approach her. And when I started to really start communicating with her, which was mainly this year, because I made an ancestral altar for her, I would say in about 2017 or 18, but I didn't actually officially buy one until last year, I'm sorry. And I made sure that it was perfect for her, what I know that she would like. And it was after that major breakup that I had last year that I really started communicating with my mom as if she was there. And she listened. I asked her to help me get over this man that I was I was convinced that I was meant to be with this man. And I asked my mother. I was kneeling at her. I was kneeling right in front of her at the altar for about like 2 hours, crying my eyes out, just asking my mom to give me peace from this man. I was asking her, I don't want to hate him because I know that that type of energy is bad for you, but to be free from loving him. And when I tell you that she worked with me, and I realized that I had to be patient with my mom. And that was the issue that I had with her when she was living. I was not patient with her. And so in death, I realized that my mom was always looking out for me. And I remember sitting there and I'm texting this individual, and it's just something it's just flowing, right? And I feel somewhat guilty for feeling this type of peace, knowing that I wouldn't be able to share it with my mom physically. I know that this would be something that my mom would want me to do. And it brings tears to my eyes that it took me 15 years, a long hiatus of the shadow work, the depression, the writer's block, just I'm just surviving. I'm not really living. And to realize that everything that my mother had taught me up till she passed was it was an outline for what I was supposed to actually be. And I didn't even notice it until this year. And it's man, it's like tears is coming out of my eyes, not because I miss my mom, because I do, but it's not grief. I'm so overwhelmed with peace. And I'm so grateful. I'm eternally grateful for me, my soul, for picking my mom. She was not the best. She really was not the best. But I really feel that there was a reason as to why I was given to her. And given the personality that I have and the certain type of temperament that I have, that I'm able to do this necessary shadow work And although I've been in this dark cloud for so long, that I'm able to finally see the light. And I didn't think that I would ever come to this point. I never thought I would come to this point. I really thought that I was going to be, sorry, that's me. I really thought I was going to be, baby, go over there. I really thought I was going to be in this hole forever, because it felt like it would be like my mom is going to be gone forever. So obviously, and people say that time heals all wounds. And, after the first 5 years, I was like, okay. And then another 5 years, and I was like, okay, when is this pain going to ever leave? When am I going to get my soul back? And it's like, I'm not where I need to be, but I know that the peace that my mom gave me it's gonna set me so far ahead. And I think I'm crying, not I'm crying because I'm overwhelmed with the future that I'm gonna have, that I know it's so possible. I can taste it. And it is extremely scary to be in a dark place for so long and then bam, light all over the fucking place. And I'm just like, what existence is this? Because I've never seen it. I've never seen it in my adult life. The sense of freedom, spiritual enlightenment that I felt in the last few weeks. And it's not like, people was like, oh, did you win the lottery? No, it was, I let go. I let go. And the moment that I let go, it was like the floodgates of peace. Just, I'm drowning in that shit right now. And it's a amazing feeling. And motherfuckers would be like, oh, are you saved in Jesus Christ? No, I don't believe in any of that shit. I don't believe in any of that. But when I tell you that being in the darkness from a teen and then waking up damn near almost 30, it's overwhelming and scary. But at the same time, I'm so grateful. I'm thankful that she is looking out for me. She always has. And she has blessed me more than I thought, because she blessed me with the spirit of love. And feeling that kind of love, between two completely different worlds, this world and the world that she's in, I know that I picked the right person to be my mother. And I told myself I was not going to get emotional, because I knew I was going to do a live stream about it. But I'm just so happy. I'm really like, and it feels weird. It really feels weird. It feels very strange it feels weird to know that you haven't seen, spoken, smelled your mom in 15 years, but you know she's there. And when it's funny because when I come on these platforms and I see these so-called mothers act the way that they do, I have to distance myself, because I'm just like, how can you be the portal to souls from a different plane. How can you bring them into this world and do the things that you do? I could never understand that. And that's why, like, I go so hard for Black parenting so hard as I do, because I've seen what living without a mother when you needed her the most, what it does to you as a Black woman growing up in this country. We talk about fatherlessness. I'm sorry, but I cannot relate to that. But what I can relate to is a loss of a mother. That feminine principle that's supposed to they're supposed to be your teacher, help you to be a woman, to embrace the world as a woman, and to I literally walked into this world with no feminine guidance. And that's why when I be in the chats and I'm like, man, I've never seen this before. I don't understand what's going on. Like, and it genuinely freaks me out because I don't know how to respond. You know, you have these Black men on here call me crass and aggressive, not understanding that tender touch and that nurture from a mother, I didn't get that. And the time that I did, my mom was also so depressed and so consumed with her own inner demons and dealing with my father. And that right there is the neglect, the emotional neglect there. It does something to you. And so here I am as a 29-year-old trying to understand myself as a woman in society, listening and watching Black women online do despicable things. And I can only think to myself, like, how, first of all, to certain moms, like, I don't have kids, and I chose not to have kids because I didn't want to be mentally fucked up like my mom and then bring another soul into this world without me doing the necessary work. And I thought that once my mom had passed, that the shadow work, you know, I was like, okay, let me time myself, you know, Virgo, this is just a Virgo mentality. Let me time myself. Okay, my mom passed. I give me 5 years to get the healing in and we can get, you know, hit the ground running. And when it didn't pan out that way, and 25 turned to 29, I realized, like, oh my God, like, I missed out on so many opportunities of, you know, finding love and creating a family and all that kind of stuff. And it's these niggas online, they really do make it sound like women my age who are 29 who don't have kids or are not married, that somehow, like, there's something wrong with us innately, in which we are bad people. And the reason as to why I don't have kids is because I know that if I don't do the shadow work before I bring my kids into this world, I'm just creating another generational curse. And I was like, look, if I can recognize that, I need to be the grown up here and to be the one to nip that shit in the bud. And I said to myself, look, you know what the issue is. You need to overcome that first. And I saw the wall that I had to go over that hurdle years ago. And I'm just going around in circles because I know that once I hit that wall and I climb over that wall, it's a done deal. I can't come back to this depressed state of mind and all that kind of shit. And I just had enough last year. My ex told me everything I needed to know about myself as a woman and what I have to offer to this world as a Black woman who wants to be a mother and as a Black woman who wants to be a wife. And I had to take that year realizing that once I healed from this man, that I would have to manifest and vibrate at a level to where I'm in constant state of peace. I knew I had to do that. That was my number one goal. And so to find out that, this is a whole December 21st thing, I didn't even know about it in the beginning of this year. But, once I figured that out, and I was like, it's not a coincidence that this is happening when it's happened. And I don't really do the whole tarot card thing, but I started watching a lot of tarot readings, and a lot of the tarot people were saying the same thing about Virgos in the year of 2021, that this is basically your year. That darkness that you were in, the maze of confusion, you're actually going to get out of that. And I watched that this year, but I felt that energy last year. And it's funny how, like, a lot of the drama, and some of y'all may not know, but there's some other drama in different sectors that I actually had visions about earlier last year before it even happened. And I thought they were just dreams or just my brain just creating scenarios or whatever. But as the year went on, a lot of the things that I dreamt about was starting to come to fruition. And one of the things that I do remember was that that last year would be my last year of, like, being in that hole. And I saw this year and the years to come to be my year. And I felt doubt. I felt doubt in that. And my mom's presence coming to me on the 21st, that night, all doubt, it vanished. I'm so overwhelmed with peace. Because my mom, she told me that I was worth everything. That I am indeed the person that I think that I am, the things that I know that I can do, that it is true. And that the power that power has always been in me. But my mom was just waiting for me to recognize it within myself. It's crazy what 15 years does. It's crazy. And there's just things that's happening right now that it's still a part of a premonition that I saw last year, and it's going as I see it, and it's scaring me because I know the end result, and I'm not necessarily scared. I am, man, I don't know what word to really describe it. I'm excited, that's for sure. And I realized that in that 15 years, the one thing that I value the most is time and the patience that you have to have in that process of healing. And it's like my heart is finally open, and I feel like bits and pieces of my soul is coming back. And like I feel full. I feel eternally blessed and grateful and thankful. And like the song that I was playing earlier, it's the song is entitled One Day. And I remember the first time I heard that song, It was actually the 12th. Wait, hold on. Let me get it right. It was it was definitely on the anniversary of my mom's passing. That's for sure. And I didn't know that the artist had dropped a new album, and I heard the song and I burst into tears because this artist has a habit of being able to capture my soul music. And that's why I played it in dedication of her. Like honestly, like I know my mom would have been extremely proud of the woman that I've become. Not in terms of accomplishments, but in terms of the development of who I am now. Because it's funny because here I'm not gonna even throw my mom under a bus, but this is just reality. But like based on the ideologies of both of my parents, my mom was the pick me. Oh, make sure you find yourself a good looking, dark and handsome man and submit and make sure that you. And it was funny that it was my father who was the one that taught me that no, you need to be headstrong, be for yourself first, vibrate in your own energy, and everybody else is going to gravitate towards you. So although that my mom she was extremely nurturing to a fault, and it was actually her downfall because she was worried about everybody else but herself. And as I was watching her on that hospital bed as the cancer was eating her alive, I knew that I knew that in her transition, she was angry, alone, scared, mad, she was and resentful. And I know for the first couple of years of her passing, I was haunted by her. Her spirit was very unsettled. It was in a state of unrest consistently. And I had to take on the burden of that to go to sleep almost every night for about 4 or 5 years, seeing my mother in my dream in weird. I'll probably have like I don't know what it was like sleep paralysis, and I would see her, and she would be angry. I don't know why she was angry. And after realizing that she was trying to just contact me, I realized that I had to open up my spirit and speak to her freely. And after I did, she stopped haunting me. But I think also there was a incomplete mission that she was supposed to do, and that was to help me. I think she knew, or I'm not new, but like I think she knew that one day I would meet a man that would put me in a situation that it did with her, and that I'll be tested. And when I remember screaming my mother's name. And I do remember a weight around me. And I smelled her Chanel number 5. And I felt peaceful. And every time I have an urge to see this man, I feel her. Like, her presence was so overwhelming, man. Like even now, I sense her. And when I look back now on it, and I remember all the stories that my mom used to tell me about all of the drama that happened between my mother and between her and my father, I realized that I was indeed walking in the same footsteps as my mother, and not intentionally. It was just one of those things. And like last year, I spent the greater part of last year just remembering all of the things that my mom used to tell me, and everything that she used to tell me I went through with my ex, the feelings, all of the emotions. I do remember my grandmother going through the same shit. My great grandmother went through the same thing. And I want to talk about generational curses on here because I think it's a real thing, man. That shit's real. Once you see it, it's crazy. Because I was able to meet my grandmother's mother and my my great grandmother's mom passed 2 years before I was born. So we have a pretty healthy lineage, okay? So one thing in common is that all of these women fell head over heels for a man that they shouldn't have been with, but they still had kids with them. And all of them, their firstborns are daughters. They're all girls. And once I recognized that pattern, I realized that if that's indeed the case, I have to break it. I had to break it. And I was like, it's my sole duty to break that generational curse. And whatever shadow work, however long it takes, I have to do it. And I was like, damn, of course I had to meet this motherfucking dude, man. I was like, damn, why do I have to meet the love of my life when I'm damn near almost 30? When I want to have kids and start a family and all that kind of stuff. And because my mom had me when she was 28, but she had already known my father for about 10 years. So once I started noticing the pattern, I realized that I had to check that shit. And I've been working very, very hard on it. And one of the things that I had to get over, and here was the thing, like it's a common theme in my family. The women, the matriarchs of my family, they went back to this nigga. They had a breakup, went through all of that soul searching, and they went back to him. And they end up having that kid, their firstborn daughter. And I told myself, if that's the case, I can't ever get back with this man. I can't. I cannot do myself like that. Just because I love him, I'm not willing to curse the next generation for my childish thoughts. And when I released him, I felt like my mom was approving. She said, "Good, and you better not go to that motherfucking nigga no more." Period. And watching a couple of tarot cards, a lot of these motherfuckers were saying somebody from your past who you thought you would never consider is gonna come back into your future. And I'm just like, bro, I don't want to be tested with this motherfucker because I'm done. Like I can't do it. I can't do it. And I feel like I'm the last. I feel like I'm the last one. I'm the last one. I know that one for a fact. I know that I'm the last one to carry on that generational curse. And my mom knows too. And I think that's where the peace comes from. Because I know that whatever I do next is going to be in my truth. And I'm creating a whole new legacy for myself. I'm so excited and I'm thankful for that opportunity to it's an overwhelming accomplishment to know that I will be the one to end that generational curse after almost 5-6 generation of Black women in my family. I'll probably be the one that to end it. And people think that, oh, to end it, you're gonna get married and not. No, I think it's more than that. I think it's that the person that I'm gonna be with, the man that I'm supposed to be with, he's gonna be everything that all of the other men in my family, including my father, I love him, but it is what it is, that this man is going to overturn all of that. And that is through our children that we're going to create a whole new line of free kids, free babies, And that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited that I will be bringing it into this world, although it's racist and full of shit. I'll be bringing into this world children who are planned for, that's for one, made in love, raised in love, and that they will carry on a legacy, a new legacy, not any of the trauma from the past. And that is the peace that I feel. Like, even I recognize that I'm going to go through some trials and stuff, but I'm no longer like held back by fear. Sorry, I have my glasses on, so if y'all are typing, my glasses are off because I'm trying to keep focused. Because I get really distracted, and I'm blind as fuck. So, and I'm like right in front of the computer, and all I just see is like blur. So I'll read the comments in a second, but I just wanted to talk about this because I know that there's a lot of Black women out here who feel lost. They feel lost because of fatherlessness or motherlessness. And I advocate so hard for fatherhood because it was through, although like my dad was also a key component to my mom's mental breakdown. I guess he knew that. And in essence, I think he was trying to correct his wrongs by raising me to be self-sufficient, to think for myself, to be strong-willed, perseverant, and to be the best that you can be, and a little bit more. And I feel like my dad was very hard on me, considering that my mom had passed. But at the same time, when I look back, if he hadn't said or done the things that he has done, I wouldn't be the enlightened person that I am today. And a lot of people on here, I can tell that they would rather talk about their trauma and keep it and like have them hold it back. But I use my trauma to right the wrongs within myself, because I know that there was a lot of issues within me. And it was something that was passed on. Like, it was like a spiritual trait of like, the Black woman, we love hard, but we love so hard and that we cannot love ourselves as hard as we do with someone else. And the moment that I realized that I have to convert all of that energy that I have for loving someone else into myself, that will be the only way I can be truly free. And so between the 21st of December to yesterday, I had so many moments of clarity. And I still feel depressed, but it's a clarity. I think that that's something that I have to crawl out of eventually. Now that I've seen the light, let my eyes adjust to the light, and then I'll stand up and move in my purpose. But it is scary to think that it was through it had to be that my mom had to die in order for me to be this person today. Because for up until last year, all I wanted was my mother to be next to me, to advise me, to hold me when I needed her the most. Going through this breakup alone was the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. Like, emotionally. And I can't really talk to my dad about this. He's a West Indian man. Like, if you're West Indian, you know what I mean by that. Like, it's not a matter of they don't care, but they don't care. But going through this breakup alone, isolated, then COVID, and your job hours is getting cut, and you don't know what you're doing. You don't know. You're alone. You're like, oh my God, and you've outgrown your friends that you've had for 12 years. You still love them, but you've outgrown them. And suffering alone and then in forceful isolation, it does something to your brain. And already been depressed 3 years prior, it just made 2020 even worse. But 2020 is hindsight, this perfect vision. And I was able to see perfectly where I stood last year. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the transition that my mom made, the sacrifice that she had to do. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the the arguments, and the angry spats that I had with my father and my stepmom. I'm grateful for the lashing that my English teacher gave me when I was writing my novel, and how he put it in perspective that if I'm just doing this for Black people, it's meaningless. And oh my God, to hear that from my professor after writing this novel for, like, at the time, it was like 4 years I've been writing this novel. And to hear this from my professor, I shut off from there. And I've tried to collect myself. I try to write, and I can't. I can't today either. But I know in time that I'll be able to, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But I'm thankful for all the trials. I'm thankful for the ain't shit niggas that I met. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy. Uh, I'm thankful for the ain't shit niggas that I've met in my life, for real. Um, and a lot of people don't know this, but I just started dating when I was 25, so I'm fairly late in the game. You know, these motherfuckers will look at my picture and automatically assuming I've been dotting it up since high school. Nope, nope. I was very sheltered, especially after my mom died. I withdrawed a lot, so all I knew was my family and my small knit friends, but that was it. I was blind to the world. I was so overcome with grief and anger for so long that the outside world, whatever was going on, I didn't really notice it until recently when I start reading about Blackness, my history as a Black woman. And man, like, it's been a journey, but I'm thankful for those motherfuckers, man. I'm thankful for the last three niggas that I was messing with. Cause those three dudes, they really showed me like where I stood as an individual. You know, one, he really did help me. He helped radicalize my mind. He really did, and psychedelics. But he really opened my mind, and among other things. The second one, oh damn, that nigga was just interesting. But he showed me where I stood when it comes to being that although I can love somebody, there is a certain point that I myself can be in shit. And he was one of those dudes where I wasn't shit. He knows who he is, and we already come to terms with everything. But that last one, boy. Now, he kind of ruined it for me, but at the same time, he's also shown me a lot about myself. And that even after all of that, that I'm still able to wake up and push forward. Now I hope, and this is just me being just me being me. You know, I do hope that, he does, spontaneously combust somewhere. That's just an honest feeling. I really do. It's not like I don't hate him, because hate requires me to have an emotion towards him, and I don't have it. It's like it's not there. But I do listen. If he was to walk in front of my house and ask me to be with him to be with him again, I would rather him spontaneously combust in front of my house than ever take him back. I don't hate the man, but he's done enough for me to know that I know where I stand. And it was through my mom's healing, the blanket of love that from where she is. It was through that. That was when I realized that, yeah, that although I have to be thankful for him, because if he didn't come into my life, I wouldn't have come into a realization as deep as I did. So I'm thankful for those niggas. Uh, the first dude, yeah, I hope he gets, mauled by some Rottweilers somewhere or something like that. The second dude, he alright, he cool. He probably should listen. You try to get back with me, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, fam. Okay, I love you from a distance, but it's not gonna work. Okay, but other than that, like, I'm so thankful, y'all, and I just wanted to share that with you because I want to. Y'all see me in the chat. I'll be, being a wisecrack and all kind of stuff, but I think it's important that we know, like, not every fucking trauma in our life, but I'm willing to share with you my redemption story, my spiritual redemption, by me overcoming this fear of being alone. Not like Kitten Samuels talking about dying alone. Bitch, I know I'm not gonna die alone, but it was just, the matter of like being alone for this extended period of time. What is this cat doing? I'm sorry, my cat is just, oh my God. I took in two little kittens because it was a frost outside. So I didn't want to like leave them outside. It snowed, y'all. Like, something just told me, like, hey, you see those kittens out there? Take them in your house. And I took them. And that same night, it's fucking snowed. And one of the kittens, a little girl, I call her Pina. She's so adorable. She was skinny. Like, I picked her up and she was just bone. And that was like 2 or 3 days ago. Now she's full and happy and fed. So I feel very happy about that. That's definitely something my mom would have done. She does that all the time. She'll take in like stray cats, nurse them, and take them to the vet, make sure they get their vaccines. And if it's a boy, she'll get them neutered. And then she'll kind of like try to find a happy home for them. My mom was, she was something else, man. And like, that's why, I wanted to create a YouTube channel because, well, the other channel is going to be dedicated to a lot of the things that she's taught me. And I would like to share that with you guys because the one thing that I want to bring from the generations is the creativity of the women. Being able to nurse things from damn near like death to life. And not cat, but other things. And that was a power. It was a powerhouse from my mother. Her empathy and her love was, oh my God, it was a little annoying to a certain degree. But I guess now that she's able to find peace and she's transitioned from the field of truth, she's able to tell me the truth from wherever she is. And I think that in her peace, she was able to mother me a lot better. And it's so strange to think of it that way, but I'm just grateful. I'm just really fucking grateful. Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses, y'all, so I can see what y'all say in the comments. I'm sorry if I sound a little stuffy, but it's been cold today, and y'all hear me cry like a little bitch. So Sorry, I want to look at the shot. Oh, hey, Charze. My mom passed like 15 years ago. What's up, y'all? Hey, Majestic. How are you? Hey, girl. Hey, China White. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Hey, Kevin. How are you? We definitely need to do a live stream together. We'll have a little chat. Short case. How are you? Thank you, love. Yeah. Right. IQ defending yourself and also just positive noise. Yeah. It's like the red pill men, they trigger me the most because a lot of their attributes is in my father. And there is I don't have tolerance or space for that type of hatefulness. I don't have time for that shit at all. It's very exhausting. It spiritually exhausts me watching these niggas say the shit that they do. And I know that they're hurt. And I've been hurt too. And it's like, damn, y'all motherfuckers don't want to heal. That's why I know, like, I've said it multiple times. I don't think these motherfuckers want to heal. Because it feels good to be bitter. It really does. So I hope that they can, get their shit together, but they not. Because men and their ego. It is, Kevin. I think so. It's not a coincidence. There's like a lot of drama that's going on YouTube that involves mothers, and it's been very, very triggering for me. Extremely triggering. To a point where I'm just like, I'll just watch from the clouds because I really can't interact with that type of shit. I really can't. Yeah, I know that even though this peace has come over me, I missed out on 15 years, so I had to catch up, I guess. Hey, what's up, love? I know you were going live later. I'll probably catch you live. Yeah, it's yeah. But yeah. Hey, Chef, how are you? Rozzy, what's up, love? B1 Nation. Thank you, Holly. Sorry, I'm just now looking at the comments, y'all, so I apologize. Because I had my glasses off and I'm blind as fuck, so I wasn't paying attention. I wanted to just get what I had to say out. I just don't regret one thing. My sisters and brothers on both sides, I wish he got remarried. I don't know what you're talking about. No, with the father thing, I've reached out to him and he does not have the spirit of understanding. So I left it in the ancestors' hands. So if he decides to take his hate to the grave, that has nothing to do with me. I've made my peace within myself. I've tried to connect with him and he's not reciprocating. So I'm not going to force him to. He's old. He's damn near in his fucking 50s. He's definitely not going to he's not going to change anytime soon until something happens to him, and it is what it is. He will learn his lesson in due time. But it's not going to be in my hands. Yeah. Yes. I agree. I agree as well. Girl, you know what therapy costs? Shit. Hey, what's up, All Heart? How are you? Well, speaking honestly in the black space will get me chewed out. I wouldn't be surprised if me saying this and motherfuckers start throwing this back in my face. Hey, you hate your mom, you hate, and I'm prepared for it. That's the thing. I'm really prepared for the fuckery in this space, but I'm really all about healing. And I know a lot of black people are afraid. They're afraid to heal because it's gonna go against their rhetoric. These fucking pink pillars, that's just gonna bite them in the ass because a lot of the reasons as to why they do the things that they do is out of hate for something else, and not because they're just letting whatever energy come to them. So Yeah, they're gonna learn the hard way, unfortunately. Yeah, I gave them a bath yesterday, and I'm gonna take them to the vet when I'm actually I think I'm gonna take them tomorrow when I get my eyebrows done because chow, I'm gonna look like what's his name? Bert from Sesame Street? No, I don't have a unibrow. But it's there. I don't got that ouch. So I'm gonna get that shit cleaned up. Thank you, All Heart. I appreciate it. Yeah, they are extremely so. But I mean, it's expected, and that's another thing that my mom, taught me: be patient and be kind to people who are hurt. So that's what I've been doing. But a lot of these motherfuckers need to be slapped in the face. True. Hey, Black Beauty, how are you, girl? Girl, I need to. So, so I started recording some content for my gaming, and as soon as I start recording, my computer is like, "Oh, you don't have any disk space." So I'm gonna go ahead and get me the extra hard drive or whatever. I met my family wise about my mom. I wish she had gotten remarried. Oh, okay. I don't regret my brothers. To a certain degree, I wish my mom had gotten remarried. Well, not remarried, but married. I wish she found somebody because my mom was so loving. She was such a loving person. Like, oh my God. Like, even like these niggas, well, listen, I wouldn't want my mom to marry any of these niggas now, but like a lot of these dudes, they'll be like, oh, we want this type of woman, da da da. My mom was that kind of woman and then some. But again, my mom was a little chubbier. She wasn't no damn 9 or 10. She was, according to, well, no, I think to me, she was a beautiful woman. I wouldn't rank my own mother, but to these niggas, oh, she's a 7 at best. Oh, some stupid fuckery, and that's why I'm glad my mom is not seeing any. Or I'm pretty sure she is, but like with her real eyeballs, I'm glad she's not seeing any of this fuckery because, man, I'm not gonna lie, my mom would have told me like, nah, these niggas are lost cause. Yeah, I feel you on the family thing. I don't want my son being there from the cycle. I want to break. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like for me, like honestly, I think that if I was to have my firstborn son to be a boy, if my firstborn is a boy, it will be kind of like a sign to me that the curse is broken. And I think also like the whole concept of picking a better spouse and all that kind of shit, having discernment that comes into it. Because I wish my mom had the discernment. Not to say my dad's not a bad dude, but personality wise, they didn't mesh. They didn't mesh together. They didn't mesh together at all, right? Like two good-looking black people does not mean that they work well together. Okay, personality and all of that kind of stuff and compatibility. That shit matters. And I think I wish a lot of these motherfuckers in this space would know that. The talk space. So. Oh, you can find it in the space of counseling classes for a little. Yeah, I have insurance, but I had an episode last year, and yeah, I owed him like $4,000. So shit, and that's with insurance. So yeah, I need to get a portable hard drive for sure. Yeah. See, listen, me take my West Indian Jamaican father to a therapy session? No, they would have to put me in handcuffs. They would have to tape. They would have to probably chain him to a chair or something because a lot of the things that I really want to say under the advisory of a therapist will be killing each other. So I'd rather just. It is what it is. He'll know the truth in time. The ancestors has been speaking to him. I can tell that it has because he's been a lot of the things that I've predicted years ago is happening. And my dad is one of those niggas that doesn't like to. Bless you. Bless you, Pina. Aw. Such a cutie. She's a calico cat. She's very spotted. Yeah, them damn pimpers is no different. But they're the same. They should just get with each other, honestly. Don't listen to those bro. YouTube, half of those are crazy and beautiful. See, that's the problem. This is not just on YouTube. Those dudes exist in real life with the same type of mentality. You know how I know? Because I dated an incel. Fell in love with an incel too. So yeah, them niggas is real. MGTOW, yeah, them niggas is real. So ladies, like real talk, if you end up dating a guy, go through his YouTube subscription list. You'll find a lot about that dude from his YouTube subscription list. And I went through my exes because he just puts it on his thing, and I would just be looking, and I'll click, and he'll watch like ABBA and Preach. I don't know if y'all know that those two are. They're like soft core MGTOW, but he watches them. He watches a few other motherfuckers. The nigga with the thimble on his head. He watches a few other white MGTOW. Another dude he considers himself an incel, but he's good looking. So, see, I that vetting process, that shit's real, okay? And yeah, I've been I've been just trying to keep myself distant from it for a while now. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here to talk about that, and it's been a while. I wanted to do the live yesterday, but I wanted to meditate on that piece for a moment. Yeah. Yeah, I watch a few Mac. Like, listen, I'm not gonna lie, they have some points. I think men should work on themselves, indeed, and get their finances together. I think that should be common knowledge. Like, honestly, like my father told me, like, go to school, get your education, save up some money, and then after you do all that, then go find yourself a man. But at least you have your shit secured, because these motherfuckers be using you, and even my dad knew that. So my dad's been preparing me for a minute. Yeah, he watches yeah. At the time, I didn't know, because you know why? Because this was before April 1st. Okay, this is before April Mules Day, right? So we didn't know any of these motherfucking niggas in the space until the whole fiasco. But now that I look back and I was looking through his stuff, and Taz did mention, he did one of those videos and it showed a guy, and I was like, bruh, I was like, he's this bad? And I'm like, man, my ex watched him. Yeah. By that time, it was already over. This girl, hey, what's up, little boy? Hey. So the male cat, my male cat, like my main cat, Mika, that's an East Indian white bitch. Not East Indian. She's an Eastern European white bitch. Okay. I know she's a white woman because I brought these two kittens in here, and she went like hardcore caring on these poor kittens. And they unbothered as fuck. They're unbothered as fuck. Like the boy, I know he's a light-skinned boy. I know he light-skinned. He light-skinned. I can sense his energy. He got a light-skinned energy because he don't be listening like that. Hey, Ginger. He's like a ginger mix, ginger and white, and I call him Ginger because I've always wanted to name a ginger cat Ginger. And his little sister Pina, she's a calico cat. But yeah, I know Pina is she's a dark skinned girl. She's just chill as fuck. Yeah, she a dark skinned girl. She got a light skinned brother. But Mika's an Eastern European bitch. Yep. See, the color of the cat doesn't determine what the cat is, right? So my cat Mika, she's a darker shade cat. She's like the stripes, but she gives off a white girl energy. The two kittens that I just found, the boy, he's light colored. He's ginger and white. But I know he a light skin. He a light skin. He a light skin. And not in no bad way, but just a light skin cat. Yeah, cats are very territorial. Some more than others. My cat walks around like she pays. Listen, Mika, the moment I brought these two cats in here, she's like, are these bitches paying rent? I'm like, bitch, are you paying rent? Like, you're not about to be disrespectful and rude to the fucking guests, hoe ass, stupid ass bitch. A lot of these dudes think that because they have a few dollars budget, they own a woman. Child. See, my dad's thing about that is funny. He's like, you need to have like 20. Girl, what is he doing? Like, oh my god, he's so irritating. He's so irritating, but he's so loving. Like, he'll be irritating the shit out of me, and I'll call his name, and he'll just like come over and just lay his little head on me and shit. I'm like, man, you ain't shit. That's how I know you a light skinned nigga, because you act like one. You do something crazy as fuck, and then you trying to gain my affection. Oh, fuck off me. Tell you gonna put her out and shit. Listen, listen. If I put her out, listen. I'm gonna record it one day and I'm gonna post it on my other channel. There is a cat that like he likes to frequent outside of my home. When I first moved here, I named him Frederick because he gave off a Frederick vibe, right? And as a few months went by, you know, I'm a cat lady, so I'm very nice. I'm very polite to the neighborhood cats. You know, I put food outside of my on my patio, you know, for any of the stray cats that come through. This nigga, Frederick, okay? I just opened my door real quick. I heard him outside crying. And I'm like, okay, this motherfucker might be hungry or whatever. So I went out to open my door, and this dude just walks in my house like he owns the bitch. And I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? And he's like, meow, 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 meow. And the way he meowed, it triggered something in me. I don't know why. I was just like, I'm like, maybe the name doesn't fit him. Because for me, sometimes if the cat doesn't look in your general direction when you say a name, that means that the cat doesn't resonate with that name. Out of shits and giggles, I turned to that motherfucker and I said, hey, David Johnson. And that motherfucker looked at me. I was like, hell fucking no. I was like, hell no, I'm not feeding your fucking asses. No. How are you gonna follow me on fucking ass YouTube and there's a fucking animal version of you? Oh hell no, I'm not feeding your ass. Oh no, I haven't fed his ass in months. And I'll test him. I'll be like, hey, David Johnson, and he'll start running towards me. I'm like, yep, nope, I don't got time. I don't got time. Nope. I can't. I cannot. And the more I start like interacting with the cat, he reminds me of David Johnson. Just fucking annoying as fuck. Just annoying. Listen. I'll go to my car because I'm trying to go to work. That nigga's there. He's like right underneath my car. I'm trying to pull him out. Meow, meow. You know the old cat meow. Oh my god, I'm being triggered as fuck right now, bro. Meow, meow. And I'll be like, no. I know I shouldn't have fed that nigga. I know I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have fed his ass. And now I'm being tormented. Bro. How the fuck is this possible that I'm being stalked by a fucking cat? I went out for a walk the other day. Tell me why Frederick is walking behind me. Hmm? Hmm? I'm trying to get the mail. Why is he there? He'd be lurking in the fucking corners in just shadows. I'd be like, okay, well, let me go throw out the garbage at 11 o'clock at night because I know, you know, cats, they sleep, right? Okay. I'm trying to throw out my garbage at like 12 o'clock in the fucking morning. Why is his fucking ass there? Hmm? I'm being tormented by a fucking puss. This is my life. But yeah. Well, I'll be moving soon, so hopefully he doesn't follow me there. But oh Lord, these cats, man. You know where I be. I be on the opposite side of the apartment complex, and he's there. I'm like, you gotta leave me alone, please. Stop harassing me. Stop following me. Anyway, How y'all doing? Because I know there's only 6 of y'all, but I might be getting off soon. Because I think isn't isn't Taz on right now? Hold on. Hold on. I don't want to miss that hold on. Oh, he about to be on in a few minutes. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and I just wanted to give you my story. That's not the whole story, but I do want to I just want to tell you that that's just how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed and I'm feeling extremely loved right now. And I hope, whatever y'all are going through in terms of um pain or whatever, that y'all can overcome it. I think Taz is about to come on now. Yeah, everybody's in the chat and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna close out this live. I don't want it to be too long, but yeah, oh yes, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Thank you guys for coming through. I'm gonna see if I can go live a little bit more because I'll be off in the next few days. So I'll just see y'all over to Taz's channel, B1, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming through, y'all. And don't forget to hit the like and share this stream as well. Thank you guys.